The phone vibrated between us. Not loud, not urgent, just enough to be noticed. She was talking about groceries, something ordinary, her voice steady, too steady. Her hand moved before her mind did, screen face down, instinctive, practiced, a reflex carved by repetition. I watched the movement instead of her face. That was my mistake before, looking at faces, believing expressions. The vibration stopped. Silence returned. She smiled at me like nothing had happened. I felt it then. Not pain, not fear, a shift, like a floorboard giving way beneath carpet, subtle, dangerous. Who was that? I asked. Casual, soft, controlled. She didn't answer immediately. Half a second too long. A pause filled with calculation. Then, no one. One word, clean, final. I nodded, took a sip of coffee. Bitter, burnt, familiar. Inside me, something woke up. A quiet voice, cold, observant. That wasn't no one. Her eyes returned to the table, not to me. Her leg bounced once, then stopped. She had learned to control that, too. I didn't push. I never push when I don't need to. I let the moment pass. But it didn't pass through me. It stayed. That night, she slept quickly. I didn't. I stared at the ceiling, replaying the day frame by frame. Not the big moments, the small ones, the fractures hiding in routine. The way she guarded her phone now. The way she laughed a second too late at my jokes. The way she said my name less. I told myself it was stress, work, life. That's what trust does. It edits reality to protect comfort. But comfort had started lying to me. Weeks ago, she'd come home late with an excuse that didn't need details. She'd stopped asking about my day, stopped arguing, stopped caring enough to fight. People think betrayal arrives loud. It doesn't. It arrives polite, soft-footed, smiling. I remembered the first time she accused me of being distant, how defensive she became when I asked simple questions, how she reframed my concern into control. Manipulation isn't aggression, it's redirection. I didn't accuse, didn't demand, I listened, and the more I listened, the clearer the silence became. There was someone else living in the space I used to occupy. I just didn't know his name yet. I became careful not to change my tone, careful not to touch her differently, careful not to reveal the storm tightening inside my chest. Externally, I was unchanged. Internally, I was precise. I noticed patterns, dates, gaps in stories. I memorized the rhythm of her lies, not the words, but the timing. I checked the phone records, not messages. She was smarter than that. Calls, short, frequent, one number repeated like a pulse. I didn't call it. I let it exist. I watched how she dressed on certain days, how she wore a perfume she never wore for me, how she showered immediately after coming home late. I told myself not to rush. Truth hates impatience. I followed once, just once, from a distance, my heart calm, my hands steady. She didn't see me. She never does. I saw enough. The way she smiled at him, the way her shoulders relaxed. That smile used to be mine. I didn't confront, didn't break. I collected. Screenshots, dates, times. A quiet confirmation from a hotel clerk who didn't ask questions because money speaks clearly. By the time doubt tried to return, it had nowhere to land. I wasn't guessing anymore. I was documenting. The results arrived on a Tuesday. Ordinary days carry the worst news. I read the report once, then again. No confusion, no ambiguity, just data, numbers, certainty. I felt calm. Not relief, not devastation, clarity. That evening I placed the envelope on the table between us. Didn't say anything. She looked at it, then at me. "What's this?" she asked. I watched her face while she opened it. The color drained slowly, like a sunset reversed. Her hands trembled, her breathing fractured. She looked up, eyes wet, mouth opening and closing without sound. I spoke softly. "How long were you planning to let me live inside your lie?" She broke, cried, apologized, explained, blamed confusion, fear, loneliness, everything except herself. I listened, not because I needed to, but because I wanted her to understand something important. Her words had no power anymore. "I already knew," I said quietly. That stopped her. I just needed proof. Her sobs turned sharp, panicked. She realized something then, too late. This wasn't a confrontation, it was a conclusion. I told her about the phone records, the locations, the test. Each detail landed like a controlled incision. No rage, no insults, precision. She reached for me. I stood up. "I loved the version of you that didn't exist," I said. "You loved the safety of my trust." I walked away while she collapsed inward. That was the revenge. Not yelling, not destroying her life, letting her sit alone with the truth she thought she could bury. Weeks passed. I felt lighter, not happy, clean. Betrayal doesn't break you when you stop romanticizing it. It sharpens you. It teaches you where your boundaries actually are. I didn't miss her. I missed who I thought she was. That grief faded quickly. Now, silence feels honest again. My thoughts are my own. My trust is no longer cheap. She tried to reach out once. I didn't respond. Some truths don't deserve conversation. They deserve distance. And as I closed that chapter without ceremony, I understood something final. She lost someone who loved her honestly. I lost someone who never did.